1992, a Japanese car company built a machine that outhandled a Ferrari, cost less than a BMW 3 Series, and hit 60 miles per hour, faster than most people's monthly salary could justify dreaming about. It was canceled inside 3 years. That's not bad luck. That's not the market speaking. That's pressure. Here's what you need to understand about the early 1990s supercar market. Ferrari, Lamborghini, Porsche, they weren't just selling performance. They were selling identity, status, the idea that speed was reserved for people who could afford the right last name. Then, Japan showed up. Think of it like a local gym that charges $200 a month. Suddenly, a competitor opens next door, same equipment, better hours, $40. The expensive gym doesn't compete on price. It lobbies to get the new one shut down. That's not a metaphor. That's almost exactly what happened. In the late 1980s, Japanese automakers quietly agreed among themselves to cap domestic horsepower at 276. Officially, it was self-regulation, a gesture of responsibility. Unofficially, it was a ceiling built to keep peace with the government, with insurers, with foreign manufacturers who had everything to lose. The Mitsubishi 3000 GT-R hit exactly 276 horsepower, twin turbos, all-wheel drive, active aerodynamics, a car engineered to the absolute edge of a limit it wasn't supposed to cross. The NSX came first. 1990, Honda proved that a Japanese car could embarrass Ferraris on a racetrack and survive daily driving. Ayrton Senna helped develop it. Let that land for a second. The European response was not to build better cars immediately. It was to make sure the playing field tilted back in their favor through import friction, through press narratives, through the quiet weight of decades-old prestige. The Skyline GT-R never officially sold in the United States during its R32 generation, not because it was not ready, because it would have been priced directly against the Corvette and won. The 25-year import rule did not create that gap by accident. The lobbying that reinforced it did. Nissan's own American dealers reportedly resisted bringing it over. The car was too good, too cheap for what it was. It would have repriced the entire performance segment overnight. By the mid-90s, the 3000 GT was quietly defunded. The next generation Skyline got softer. The NSX received minimal updates for years. None of them died in crashes or scandals. They were starved of development budgets, of marketing, of dealership support. The machines that should have democratized performance were managed out of existence. Here is the part nobody says out loud. The cars won every technical argument. They lost the political one. Performance was never purely about engineering. It was about who was allowed to own the narrative around speed, who got to define what a serious driver's car looked like, where it came from, what it cost. The JDM performance era did not fail. It was managed, and the proof is in what happened underground. The grey imports, the modified 3000 GTs in Australian and New Zealand garages, the R32s that eventually flooded the US. The moment the 25-year window opened, suppressed technology does not disappear. It waits. What you drive says less about what you can afford and more about which story you chose to believe. If this reframed how you think about performance history, subscribe. There is more buried under the surface.